Hey guys, Logan Battles here. Welcome to another episode of LBFT. This is episode 11 of LBFT Season 3. For this episode, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts, or at least my reaction and thoughts to the Sunday night football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was originally going to do this episode last Monday, yesterday, technically, or the day before, actually. Sorry, I'm messing up the day. Anyway, I was going to do this episode last Monday on the Buffalo Bills Pittsburgh Steelers game, and I wasn't going to do it. I don't know why, but I didn't. But here I am, having the opportunity to talk about this game, even though we're already 3 days past since that game ended. I watched the game last Sunday night, and I'm here to give you my thoughts on it. So, first things first, the Buffalo Bills ended this game with a victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field. 17-10 final score. And as a result of the Buffalo Bills beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have now clinched a playoff berth, which was the first time, I believe, since 1999. I'm not sure if I got that right, but I'm kind of sure. What I do know, however, for certain, is that this is their first ever 10-win season since 1999. I know that for certain. This was also the Buffalo Bills' first win against the Pittsburgh Steelers since Week 5 of 1999. That was back when Doug Flutie was the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and Cordell Stewart was the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was before Big Ben Roethlisberger ever came along. Yeah. So anyway, Buffalo Bills beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-10. As a defensive game, it was entertaining. It was exciting, even though I was kind of rooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Only because of the fact that they have this guy Vince Williams out of Florida State, and the fact that they have a former Florida State Seminole player on that team, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, kind of makes me root for the Pittsburgh Steelers more. Because I check out both rosters for both teams, and the Buffalo Bills have 0 FSU players on that team. But that's besides the point. The point is, I was rooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers just so they would clinch a wild card playoff, or at least still reign as the top, or take the top spot of the wild card hunt for the playoffs. And they didn't do it. And as a result, the Buffalo Bills are saying 10-4. Pittsburgh Steelers 8-6. So let's get started. I want to start off with Josh Allen. This was not one of his best games per se. If you just look at the statistics, it's kind of not that striking, quite honestly. Hold on, I'm trying to find it in my NFL. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, Josh Allen, again, not one of his best games, but he scored at least 1 or 2 touchdowns when it counts most. Okay, so he was 13 of 15, or 25 rather. I'm sorry. 139 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He got He had a passer rating of 65.3, QBR of 59.4. Not all that great. So yeah, Singletary, Devin Singletary. Okay, the running back for the Buffalo Bills. He was impressive. I think this was a bigger game for him than Josh Allen. For me personally, he was running the football somewhat effectively. I mean, he only had 21 carries, 87 rushing yards, averaged 4.1 yards per carry. He had a decent running game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. John Brown, one of the wide receivers for the Buffalo Bills, also had a decent receiving game for the Buffalo Bills. He wasn't all that bad. But, it is what it is. I mean, they were going up against a top 4 total defense, top 5 passing defense, I believe. I'm not sure if I got that right. It might have been a rushing defense that Pittsburgh has in the top 5. At this point, I don't know. But I do know for certain that the Buffalo Bills have a top 3 defense. Number 3 in total defense, in yards allowed. Number 3 against the pass, and number 2 in points allowed. So they are a legit passing defense. It's basically a no man's land type of team, a type of defense. It's just that impressive. So, yeah, and speaking of the Buffalo Bills defense, they were into Devlin Hodges' head. They were getting all over him all night long. Devlin Hodges. This was one of, if not his worst game that I have seen from him as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers so far. He was awful last Sunday night. Really awful. 23 of 38, 202 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. 4. He got sacked 4 times. He had a passer rating of 43.4 and QBR of 10.6. QBR of 10.6. That's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. The Buffalo Bills picked off Devlin Hodges, a 4th-string quarterback, mind you, although I think he's a 4th-string quarterback, but I'm not sure. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. And 2 of those times, by the way, were at the end of the game. The Pittsburgh Steelers' last 2 possessions, the last 2 drives for the Pittsburgh Steelers ended with interceptions. Devlin Hodges, the last 2 drives could have easily, at least any one of those last 2 drives, could have ended with the game being tied had Devlin Hodges' passes not been intercepted, or at least any one of those. The game would have been tied had those interceptions not been made. But they happened. So, as a result, Devlin Hodges didn't score a touchdown to tie up the game and go to overtime before time expires, before the clock expires. James Conner also wasn't that impressive. He didn't have a good game. Of course, he was probably a bit hobbled, you could argue, but still, that's not a really impressive performance. James Washington, like Devin, or no, not Devin. What was the wide receiver's name? John Brown for the Buffalo Bills. like John Brown, James Washington also had a decent receiving game. Even though he didn't have a touchdown, he still had a decent receiving game. I mean, 5 receptions, 83 receiving yards, 16.6 yards per reception on average. He wasn't all that bad. He wasn't all that bad. But this defense, at least both of them, but mostly the Buffalo Bills defense, both were very, very impressive. This was a big defensive game for both teams, particularly the Buffalo Bills. They were a complete formidable defense. I already mentioned them being a top 3 defense in the league. And then picking off Duck Hodges 4 times, 2 of them at the end of the game. This was a big defensive game. It is nowhere near a high-scoring game by both teams. Not even close. It didn't even surpass the 20-point mark. I mean, that's how great both of these teams' defenses are. Especially the Buffalo Bills defense. I gotta give credit where credit is due. They play lights out. They have busted their tails off to win the game by, getting into Devlin Hodges' face all game long and picking him off 4 separate times. It's just that eye-opening for me. And they will definitely be on my Battle 5 list for top 5 NFL teams after week 15, right? I believe it's 15, yeah. I will not say which spot, however, because I don't want to reveal it until after I release my Battle 5 list for top 5 NFL teams after week 15. That will come out tomorrow, though, so stay tuned for that one. Anyway, yeah, this Buffalo Bills team is not to be taken lightly, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Their defense is real. It is not to be taken lightly, based on how they've been doing. I mean, I think I read one insight, according to my NFL app, or maybe it was the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm not sure, but I remember one insight about this game where the Buffalo Bills, not allowing more than 20 points in a game, 3rd or 4th straight time. Not sure. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was thinking of the Steelers. I was confusing the Steelers with the Bills. This was the Pittsburgh Steelers' 4th consecutive game where they have allowed fewer than 20 points, which was the longest streak since 2017. So yeah, I confused the Pittsburgh Steelers with the Bills. My fault. So yeah, really impressive performance by both defenses, especially the Bills defense. If I were the New England Patriots, I would watch out for the Bills defense, because the way that this Bills defense is playing, combined with how the Patriots offense have looked this season, with what Tom Brady has to work with, especially when it comes to receivers, them not being open or being, not making enough big plays to score points on opposing defenses. I got to tell you right now, the Buffalo Bills have a more legitimate shot to beat the Patriots than they had the last time both of these teams met, and the last time being this Patriots won. This is a better chance for the Bills to beat the Patriots than the last time they met, which was earlier this season. That's the bottom line. I know that The Bills' offense is not it's not all that great. I'm not saying that they're great. What I am saying to you is that the way that the Bills have been playing this season, combined with the fact that this is now their 10th win of the season, which was the first time since 1999, I gotta tell you right now, the Bills have been that impressive. They're very impressive. I gotta take them seriously. At least their defense. I gotta take them seriously. There's more. I think there's more to prove from the Bills' offense, especially starting with Josh Allen. I know that he's been impressive, especially after the Thanksgiving game against Dallas Cowboys. How he ran like Lamar Jackson. Or how much he looked like Lamar Jackson because of how much he ran and how effective he was with running with the football. But still, I still think the jury is out for Josh Allen and the Bills' offense. I think they have more things to prove than the Bills' defense. They have some things to prove for the remainder of this season. But that's just me. We will have to wait and see. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the Bills-Steelers game. This is episode 11 of LBFT Season 3. Be sure to tune in for the next episode, which I will premiere as soon as I'm done premiering this one. So stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it that like button to click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, make sure to press up there to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that bell icon so that you'll get notified about my latest videos. Have a great day, and as always, fight the good fight.